Hello, and welcome to my Power Wagon camper project. Now, if you've caught my other videos, you'll know that I purchased this 2012 Ram Power Wagon through a government auction. It had previously been used as a fire command vehicle, and during that fire truck conversion, they made some modifications, including removing the original center seat in the front, and also hacking up the original floor console in order to fit this aftermarket steel console between the driver and passenger seats. Now at this point I've removed that steel console and I've replaced the center seat, and I've also just taken out what was left of the original floor console. Now while I was installing the new center seat, I realized that I only received half of the center seat belt, and I also realized that there are vents on the back of that seat for rear passengers. So I was able to get another seat belt off of eBay, and I was also able to locate a center vent tube which will connect the existing front AC vent on the truck back to the rear vents. Now the Power Wagon was never meant to have those rear vents, so I had to do a little minor modification to that vent tube. There's a little tab on the side which interfered with the manual transfer case shifter that comes with a Power Wagon, so I just cut that little tab off with a hacksaw and used a bit of good old Gorilla Tape to seal up the hole, and now it fits perfectly. So that vent tube will run up underneath the floor console once I get that in place. Alright, so I was able to locate a replacement OEM floor console for the truck. I actually bought it from a salvage yard who was selling it on eBay. It's been shipped and received, so I'm about to install it now. It's a bit scratched up and a little bit dirty, but I think it's going to work. It should technically bolt right into place. And I'll go ahead and install it right over that new floor vent that I just put in. Alright, so I got the salvage yard floor console in place. That change bowl at the top there is a bit scratched up, but I may be able to buff those scratches out. Anyway, here's the center seat, and the center seat belt's in place now in case someone needs to sit there in the center seat. And if I fold this down, I have a nice little armrest there. So yeah, this truck's starting to look a lot less like a government truck and a lot more like a stock truck that I might want to drive around. So it didn't take too much time or effort to get the interior squared away. I'm pretty happy with these results. So now it's on to some additional maintenance. Okay, so today we're working on draining fluids. I got the rear differential drained and topped up. Now I'm working on the front. It's interesting design. The rear differential actually has a little fill line on and printed on the cover, which I've never seen before. But this front one doesn't have that fill line as far as I can see. So we'll top it off until it comes out the top hole there. Yeah, you can see it was topped up even above the fill hole. And it is on level ground right now. Alright, I'm going to try this hand pump. It seems to be working, so let's see how it goes. Hard to get the hose all the way down to the bottom of the differential. Let's see how much I can get out. Worst comes to worst, I'll have to take the cover off. Something interesting. I wasn't really planning on doing an oil change right away. When I bought the Power Wagon, there was an oil change sticker up on the window. It looked like the oil had just been recently changed. And it was a semi-synthetic oil. I usually use full synthetic, but it was the same brand. So I thought I'd just leave the oil in there until it was time to change it again. Until I was crawling up under the truck and I noticed this. This is the oil filter that was under there. And it was looking suspiciously small. And the other suspicious thing is this number here. It ends with a 2222, and I recognize that number from my wife's Jeep Patriot, which is a 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder small engine. Sure enough, I look up that number, And this filter does indeed fit the Jeep 2.4 liter engine. It seemed, it seemed very small to me for a 5.7 liter engine. And so I ordered the correct filter. That's this one, pure liter. Look at the size difference. So, yeah, the one on the left, definitely not the right one. The one on the left did fit. Obviously, Chrysler uses the same threads, but completely different filter. I'm sure the specs are different. Certainly the capacity is a lot different. I mean, this one's almost twice the size of this little one here. So needless to say, that little filter came off, and I had to drain out all the oil and put a new filter on. So now it has one of these new pure liters and full synthetic Pennzoil Platinum oil. Okay, time to drain the coolant on the Power Wagon. There we go, starting to come out. Oh. So I made quite a mess down here, as you can see. I pulled the cardboard and the drain pan out from under the vehicle, but I was just trying to drain the radiator with this hose here, and nothing was coming out. So I kept loosening the drain plug, and then suddenly the drain plug popped out. And I think what was happening was sand had built up in the orifice of the drain plug, and it was plugging it up until it came out. And then everything, all the water came rushing out. But as you can see, there is sand down in the bottom of that drain pan, as well as in the hose, the drain hose. And that's not too surprising. It's not what I wanted to see, but not too surprising. And you can see here, this is the dipstick of the overflow bottle, and you can see sand kind of built up there on the neck there, and that's probably where most of the sand is coming from. The overflow bottles aren't sealed, so you're gonna get debris in there. So anyway, it's been drained, and I've put another gallon of clean water through the radiator and drained it, and hopefully we got all the sand out of there. So yeah, that's what you can expect when the vehicle has lived its life in the South Central Oregon desert, driving through dirt roads every day. So that was in the bottom of the drain pan. That is quite a bit of sand, quite impressive. There is even a little pebble down in there. Now here's a little modification I've done. Originally, this hose here did not have any kind of a clamp on it or anything, and I noticed on my Jeep it's a very similar design on my Wrangler JK, and not too long after I bought it, coolant started to seep out of that connection there, just a little bit, not much, but I put a clamp on it similar to this one, and that resolved the issue for the next 12 years. So thought I'd do the same with this vehicle. I'm not sure why they designed it without a clamp. Alright, well, I definitely say it's been a productive week and a half or so. With the truck, I definitely made some progress. I got the interior pretty well squared away and looking more like a stock truck. I drained and filled the front and rear differential. I gave the truck an oil change. I drained and filled the coolant and performed a transmission service. Now, out of all those things, I definitely say the transmission service was the most time-consuming. On this truck, there's actually two filters. There's a screw-on filter and a sump filter and a little aluminum gasket that you have to replace. And then, of course, the pan has to be resealed with silicone and put back into place. So it's a bit of a chore, and definitely gave me a new appreciation for manual transmissions. But overall, the process went pretty smoothly, I guess, all things considered. So anyway, I've got more things on the way, more parts coming, and as things come in, I'll continue to do more maintenance and more upgrades and post more videos. So as always, Thank you for watching.